What's up, Summoners? Welcome to the first video of Season 3 here at Game Gym. Today we're talking about rotating for objectives and how important that concept is, because a lot of times rotations don't happen until the later stages of the game, but you can actually start doing it very early on. We have a lot of exciting things coming this season for you guys, so make sure to stay tuned. Alright, let's get into the video. To warm up, you should load into the practice range and practice pushing waves, as getting lane priority is really important for rotating properly for objectives. The reason you want to practice pushing waves is because you need lane priority to rotate for objectives properly. Lane priority allows time to rotate to an objective while your opponents are forced to make a choice. Match your rotation and lose CS, or stay and get their waves, but your team gets the man advantage. You should always make sure your waves are shoved in before rotating for an objective. While rotating for objectives, it is important that you have proper vision of the area, especially if your enemies are missing, as they could be waiting to pounce on any members who are wandering alone. If you don't have vision while you're rotating, make sure to take space with your team and establish proper vision so you're not caught by yourself and give over a free kill. A lot of times, when people are rotating for an objective, they walk carelessly through areas that they have no vision in. I like to apply the buddy system, which means if you're walking into an area that your team does not have control of, you should have at least one other teammate close by so that if something happens, they can immediately come and help you. When you know an objective is coming up, you want to make sure that you're properly positioned for being able to rotate to it so that you are not behind and joining the potential fight when it's already over. What I mean by this is, should a fight break out over an objective that's coming up, you want to make sure you have some way of being able to join the fight. Whether that be using some form of movement ability that can get you to the fight, or if you have teleport. Or if you don't have teleport or a global ult, making sure you're on the same side of the map as the current spawning objective, meaning you're either in mid or on the top side of the map for the Baron Pit, or the bottom side of the map for the Dragon Pit. Making sure you can effectively join the fight, should it happen, is an extremely important thing to keep in mind, as you could be the difference in your team winning and getting away with the objective, or losing the fight and potentially letting the game snowball out of control. Always make sure you have some way to join the fight before the objective spawns. This is something you need to constantly be thinking about when you're leaving base and heading back out onto the map. A major way to take advantage of proper rotations and map control is making sure you're the first team to rotate to an objective. This means that your team all have their waves pushed effectively and you all establish control around the pit of whichever objective you are taking. There are many benefits to establishing control in the river, and it is a big advantage for your team if you're able to do so. This is important because it lets trap champions get set up if you have them. Champions like Teemo and Caitlyn become much stronger if they're able to set up their traps, so getting control of the river before your team does makes them a lot more effective in the fight. You also can set up bush cheeses to catch enemies who are rotating without their team and get some free picks so that the enemies just don't even consider coming to contest the objective at all. Clearing enemy vision and then just sitting in wait for any poor soul that happens to walk by is an easy way to ensure a victory for your team. And you can only do this if you set up first. Again, I'm Coach Brandon, and today we went over properly rotating for objectives and why it's important. Make sure to check back every so often, as we post very frequently here at Game Gym. If you get any clips of a bush cheese you and your team did, make sure to tag me in the Game Gym Discord. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the Rift.